Oh, hey Sal, how you doing? I'm not gonna be doing no readings, but I'm gonna cleanse my environment with this Palo Santo. Um, yeah, let me get that. Let me get this going. She's not giving. I'll wait for some folks to get in the room. In the meantime, hey Sal, I see you. I see you. Oh, there we go. There we go. Let me let me copy the link. Let me drop it in the comments. In the event anybody wants to come through. Oh, she looking good today. Shit. Oh, the skin is skinning. I got my mom, and this is, oh, wonderful. Great. Great. Hey, mom. Hey, sis. Y'all, we got some people coming in. Come on through the Mr. Stevens. Greetings. Give me a second. Give me a second. Let me get you up here, Mr. Stevens.
Hello.
Hold on, baby. Hold on. There you go. Hello, sir. How are you? Hey, Yvette. Hold on.
I'm
Yeah, there's Miss
okay.
Yvette. Hair cutting and checking in. Okay. Oh, what people will do. Mr. Stevens, how are you, my love?
I'm fine. I'm 40. I turned
Yo,
40 on
happy birthday to you, sir. Happy birthday.
yeah, I turned 40 on Friday, and I went to a what do you call it? A karaoke. It was a emo karaoke concert. I didn't get to sing. Me nor my buddy didn't get to sing, but oh my god, there was so many people drunk there. And I mean, I stayed out until like 1 in the morning, and I'm still kind of tired. But I had fun and I hung out with my friend Elliot, and it was just a beautiful weekend. And I just had so much to be grateful for. Just I'm blessed, man. I feel really good.
40 and fabulous, sweetie. 40 and fabulous. Yeah, baby. Letting my hair grow. Um, it was a very liberating thing.
Mhm.
Where it's at right now, it's okay. People are kind of digging it, but yeah, for so long, I was coloring it. As a stylist, I've got everything I need to do it at home. And then it
Mhm.
just got to a point like, you know what, I can't be doing this. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
It's a blessing to get older. It's a blessing to get older. So everybody in the chat, yeah, wish Mr. Stevens a happy birthday, please. I meant to do a whole lot, Mr. Stevens.
It's
But
okay.
but
Life.
life be lifing. And that's why I wanted to come on tonight. Um,
Mhm.
yeah. So, um, Lady Sarah, how you doing? Mr. Stevens, I'm gonna drop you down
Okay.
and
Okay.
yeah, and happy birthday, love. Oh, wait a minute, and there you go. And before I go any further, let me say this. Mr. Stevens is one of the reasons why I decided I was gonna come live because he messaged me via Instagram and he's like, when's your next live and stuff. And and the thing is that I am not um I'm not gonna pretend that I'm coming on here tonight with something that is polished. I had a very real moment last night. And when I do these readings, you all are in a very vulnerable position. And so this is a relationship. So it's a give and take. And so, I've got to I want to reciprocate. All right, Lady Sarah, thank you for stopping by, love. Thank you for stopping by. I got some of the greatest mods. I love my moddies. Y'all, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel and like the video and all that. If you could share it out so we can get this channel popping, that would really be great. But hey Wade, hey. All right. So with that being said, let me just say that so yesterday I had a very real Lord. I had a very, very real moment. And I feel like what I'm about to share with you tonight is something people go through, but they don't really talk about it in the right way. And so let me prefix this in this manner. Yesterday when I posted I was going to come out, this statement had a different meaning, but it still holds true today. And that is, awareness creates responsibility. But what people don't say is it can make you feel responsible for things that were never yours. So last night, give me a minute, y'all. Okay. Last night, I was trying to help someone dealing with real mental struggles. And it turned into a full situation. The police were involved. Like it was completely out of control. And afterwards, when the situation got resolved, I'm sitting here and I'm replaying everything. And I'm thinking, what could I have done differently? What should I have said? Did I miss something? And if you ever dealt with anything like that, you know the feeling. It's guilt mixed with responsibility, mixed with confusion. Like somehow it became my job to hold on to something that was bigger than me. But this is where awareness really kicked in for me. I had to stop and ask myself what was actually mine to carry and what isn't. And that question, let me repeat it. If you ask yourself what's actually yours to carry and what isn't, asking yourself that question will change your whole life. Because awareness doesn't show you your power. It shows you your limits as well. You can care. You can show up. You can be present. But that does not mean that you're responsible for saving people. You're responsible for how you show up and what you say. You're responsible for your energy. You are not responsible for someone else's mental condition. You are not responsible for someone else's mental state. You are not responsible for their choices or them losing control. I did a little something that that right there. What I was saying, that's high priestess. That's high priestess energy. You see what's really going on. And then afterwards, it's we got judgment. And judgment is like once you see it, once you are aware of something, you are now called on to respond differently. But responding differently doesn't mean overextending yourself. And a lot of us were conditioned to feel responsible for other people's emotions. So when something goes wrong, we take it on automatically. But when you have awareness, that will break the pattern. I can care about you and still not carry what's yours. I can show up and still have boundaries. I can be aware without over responsibility. Last night was really rough. And, I don't know, there's a portion in my mind that created this affirmation. And, after yesterday, after last night, I had to show up in the world. I had to go to work and still function. And try to make sense of it. And so all day long, I kept repeating this thing in my mind. When you guys see me in the mornings, I can come up with an affirmation on the fly. And then, that kicked in. And, I just kept saying all day long to myself, I am aware and I move with intention. I take responsibility for what's mine and I release what is not. And I just kept saying it. I just kept saying it and saying it and saying it. I am aware and I move with intention. I take responsibility for what's mine and I release what is not. Sometimes responsibility looks like doing what you can and knowing when to let go. If you've been carrying something that is not yours right now, tonight is your invitation to put it down. If you've been carrying a load and it was not yours to carry, if you want to, in the chat, put aware, right aware. You ain't got to say what it is. I'm not going to have you all extend yourselves or be vulnerable like that. The moment you become aware, everything else stops being accidental. And you will start catching your patterns and your habits and the roles you keep playing in your own cycles. And that's where it gets real. because now it's not just life happening to you, it's you choosing consciously or not. And that's the part that people don't like, because awareness comes with responsibility. You either move differently or you keep repeating the same shit knowing better. There's no shame, there's no guilt, there's just the truth and the power to actually shift your life. So if this hit you tonight, this wasn't by accident. This wasn't by accident. I won't repeat his name. I'm just going to say once again, awareness creates responsibility. And that right there, it cuts clean if you really sit with it. Awareness creates responsibility. It means the moment you see it, you can't unsee it. And now you know what to do next. You notice your pattern, your behavior, and you feel when something is off in a relationship. You recognize you're playing small, or you're overgiving, or you're self-sabotaging. At that point, ignorance is no longer your shield. Now it becomes, do you move different? Or do you keep repeating it knowing better? And that is the weight of awareness. But here's the flip side. Hold on, y'all, give me a second. Shit. So here's the flip side. And this is where people either rise or they fold. And that is, awareness isn't meant to shame you. It's meant to empower you with choice. Before awareness, you was reacting. After awareness, you're now deciding. And that's a whole different level of power. I showed earlier the high priestess. Look at the symbolism. Behind her is that veil. The hidden knowledge, the inner knowing. That doesn't speak loud, but it knows everything. And traditionally, the high priestess, she represents intuition and like the truth beneath the surface and inner awareness. And this is the moment you become conscious of what was once unconscious. And that is your patterns, your instincts, your emotional undercurrents. All of that shit is revealed. When you're in awareness, you stop ignoring what you feel, and you trust your inner signals instead of overriding them. Awareness is divine intelligence expressing through you. Nothing is hidden. Once the mind is willing to see, nothing is hidden. I threw up the judgment card. And here, we see with the trumpet, the call to rise up, the awakening, the moment you can no longer stay who you were. The judgment, its meaning is the awakening, answer to a higher calling, or, a reckoning, and this right here, this is accountability. You see your patterns, you see your choices, you see your cycles, and now you own them. And when you own them, you can release denial. You can accept your role in your life story without running from it. Awareness activates transformation. And once you see clearly, you are called to align with a higher version of yourself. So the takeaway tonight is once you know better, you don't get to move like you don't. And that's the shift. Awareness puts the spotlight on everything. Awareness puts the spotlight on your habits, on your emotions, and on your choices. And from that point forward, every move is a conscious one, whether you admit it or not. Awareness is going to break those unconscious cycles. But it also creates this internal tension because now there's a gap between what you know and what you're going to do. And that tension, within that tension, that's where growth lives. When you have awareness, you're going to stop asking, why does this keep happening to me? And then you're going to start asking, why do I keep participating in this pattern? That question right there is going to change everything. You know, I talk about that I am. Awareness is awakening that I am within you. It is the moment you realize that you're not bound by your old thoughts or your old patterns or your old identities. You are the thinker choosing the thought. You are the awareness directing the experience. So don't run from what you see. If something becomes clear to you, face it. That clarity came for a reason. Avoiding awareness only delays growth. Learning from awareness, that will transform you. You ain't got to put it in the chat, but ask yourselves right now, what are you aware of right now? What are you aware of right now? Can you track one repeating pattern in your life and call it out honestly? Can you make one different choice tomorrow based on what you already know is true? Those small shifts, that is real. That's responsibility in action. So what have you become aware of in your life that you've been avoiding taking responsibility for? And what would it look like if you fully owned it starting now? What would your life look like if you fully owned, I know this shit is going on and I'm going to change it. How would your life shift from that? Let me see. Sal says, today what you say stays and is put in concrete. Words are powerful, and today your words will hold. Be careful what orders you are placing. That's the way. Yep. I see somebody's been paying attention. Yep. Miss Jones is aware. Miss Martha is aware. Yeah. Um, and the reason, Yvette, the reason why I'm sharing this is because dealing with this situation is the reason why I've not been doing the lives. Dealing with this situation, I'm working 2 jobs, and then dealing with what's going on. I've been mentally exhausted. Um, I've had to refund. I've had to refund money for people that have been paying for their readings. I can't give a half-ass reading. Money is too hard right now, and I had to come on here and let you all know what has been going on. Because you all deserve that. I put the link in the chat. If anybody wants to come up, if anyone has any questions or anybody wants to share anything, come through. If not, it's okay. It's no biggie. Honestly, you guys, I don't know how the situation is going to resolve because, once again, the police were here last night, and my landlord saw it, and he said under no circumstances can this individual come back. And the social agency that I was working with, he's got a team, and I've been telling him, hey, he's not been taking his medications for 2 weeks, and in America, you cannot force people to take medication, and it was a break, and and that was that. The thing that bothers me is that we were so close. We were so close to a finish line. We were so close to getting him housing in an assisted living facility. And now I don't know I don't know how that's going to play out. And oh God. It's like a full year of effort. It just seemed like it blew up in one night. And yeah. The people on his team, because at this moment I have a release of information, and again, this happened out last night, and they kept me, they said that they met with him, and he is in a psychotic break, and and I said, I think the best thing would be to have him hospitalized until we know what's going on. And that was brought up to him, and it's his right. He refused. And so now here in Chicago, today the weather was like almost 60. And yeah, and even though I know it's not mine to worry, I do worry about him. And I reached out because this Friday, he has an appointment to go see a doctor. And he's been so traumatized by doctors that, he can't go without, I was going to be there with him, to help, get him through the procedures or anything like that. And he called me on my way back home, and he said, my glasses are here. And I said, they're here. And he goes, well, I need them. And I said, okay, that's fine. I said, did you still want me to come with you Friday to the no, I don't want nothing to do with you. And I'm like, all right, that's fine, but I'm not going to be able to get you your glasses until Friday. And so I reached out to the nurse that is on his team, and I said, listen, I hate to contact you after hours, but, Chris's first doctor's, oh shit, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to use his name. His first doctor's appointment is this Friday, and you know how he is. Could you accompany him? And again, this was after hours. These people don't owe me, they don't owe me a response, but he did write back and he goes, Ronnie, I'm on my way to Houston. And somebody in the team will be with Christopher. Fuck, I said his name again. I'm sorry. And then he said, I hope you're okay. And I know this is hard for you, but he is a survivor and he will adapt. He is a survivor and he will adapt. And here's where awareness comes in. He is a survivor. He is a survivor and he will adapt. My mind goes to, he's been adopting for too long and he's been being strong for too long. So when does the rest of the universe get on his side and say, we got you? At what point does that happen? But here's where awareness comes in again. I have the right to ask that question. I don't have the right to an expectation. And that's where it gets hard. I consider and say that I know that I've done everything that I could. I did everything that my resources allowed me to do. But for whatever reason, y'all, that doesn't make me feel good. And I'm going to have to sit with that. I'm going to have to sit with that. But, though it's not a happy subject, I wanted to come on here and share that with you. And, I hope if anybody's going through some shit like that, you feel less alone. And that's that. Thank you, Miss Martha. Yeah. Me too. Thank you, Miss Yvette. That's all I got, y'all. That's all I got. You guys have been wonderful. Thank you for hanging in there with me. I wish I had that energy to say, and Saturday, we're gonna come on, we're gonna do some readings. Tomorrow, at the stadium that I work at, it's gonna be opening day, and I'm gonna be there at 7 a.m. until 7 p.m. at night. And that is going to wear me out, which is good because I won't have to think about all this shit. And and then Friday, I got to go to the social services place and see if I can drop off, his glasses and what have you. But if you all, oh, thank you, Yvette. Thank you, Mama. Thank you. And I love you back. If you all could do me a favor and just hold, I've already said his name twice. Hold Christopher in prayer. Hold him in prayer. I know that Universal Mind is looking out for him. And it's very hard for me to let go. If you were to ask me what what is it that you want, Ronnie, I would tell you that to know that he is properly housed and that he's got the medical attention that he needs and that he is surrounded by community, by people that care about him. That's all I got. That's all I got. So listen, y'all, thank you for letting me share this with you. I hope that some of this helps you guys out. And yeah, I'm to the best of my ability, I'm still putting content out there, because I owe that to you guys. So just give me a little bit, give me some time. I'll be back with more, and that's it. But anyway, you guys, thank you. You guys have a great evening. Thank you, Sal. Thank you, Ms. Jones. Thank you, Miss Martha. Thank you, Miss Yvette, Lady Sarah, and of course, happy birthday to Mr. Stevens. Yeah, that's it. Y'all stay in alignment, and right now in my mind's eye, I have him in my mind's eye, and I am challenging the universe to show me how good it can be. All right. All right. Thank y'all. Y'all stay blessed. All right. Good night.